I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I work and live with respect, honour and compassion. I recognise their continuing connection to land, water and community. I pay respect to elders past, present and emerging, for they hold the memories, the traditions, the culture and the hopes of Aboriginal Australia. Hello Vince and fellow students, I'm Sarah Keeling and it is a pleasure to finally be able to interact with you all in this manner. The topic of discussion this week centres around multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary processes. I have been assigned to introduce this topic and provide the distinction between these processes. There have been many distinctions between and definitions of these three terms throughout their history of usage. As such, I will offer in this presentation the most commonly used definitions that come from a review of how the terms are used in a range of literature, while still working with the understanding that there are many slightly varied definitions. Multidisciplinary processes are the least integrated of all three of these processes. However, and possibly because of this, they are the processes that are often seen as the most attainable. Multidisciplinary processes convey and contrast knowledge in an additive manner, meaning there is little interaction across disciplines. While researchers aim to share knowledge and compare results, there is no larger goal of integrating the research or generating any new integrated knowledge. This can lead to multidisciplinary research simply providing the opinion of experts while leaving other people to focus on the problem and how to solve it, limiting their ability to combat real world sustainability issues. While multidisciplinary processes do not integrate knowledge to the desired degree, the methodology was initially developed and continues to be used in order to allow the layperson access, as there are multiple types of knowledge being presented. This continues to be a positive of the multidisciplinary process. Multidisciplinary processes are the least integrated of all three processes being discussed. Multidisciplinary processes are focused on combating a problem rather than looking at the holistic nature of sustainability and allow little interaction across disciplines. They do, however, present a starting point for stakeholders to access and explore the research. This brings us to interdisciplinary processes. Interdisciplinary processes and multidisciplinary processes have much in common. Both obtain the opinions of multiple experts in order to examine and communicate environmental issues. The main difference in these two styles is the level of integration between researchers and stakeholders. Interdisciplinary processes seek to bridge the differences in disciplines and enable researchers and stakeholders to examine the acquired knowledge from a neighbouring discipline through integration. Interdisciplinary processes seek to break down the barriers between disciplines and knowledges. This is achieved through the acknowledgement that there should not just be a simple addition of parts, but rather a recognition that one area of research and process can and should affect the research of another. Some authors differentiate between levels of interdisciplinary practice. Big interdisciplinary refers to processes that have substantive links between distant disciplines, for example, natural and human sciences. Small interdisciplinary refers to processes that have cohesion between isolated disciplines, for example, within human sciences. In real-world examples, we must examine the factors in applying big and small interdisciplinary processes. Small interdisciplinary processes are more cost-effective as there is no large gap to bridge between disciplines, which would require more time and resources. Small processes can be preferable from a management perspective. Given that most problems in environmental management are complex and the interaction between humans and the natural environment is a critical part of the investigation, it would seem that big interdisciplinary processes would be the logical recommendation to employ in order to achieve cohesion between academics and other stakeholders. Transdisciplinary processes are simultaneously the most desirable and most difficult to achieve. They involve not only cohesion and integration between multiple disciplines, but also with non academic stakeholders such as land managers and the general public, on both a local and regional level to create a process of collaboration between those involved. In order to distinguish transdisciplinary and interdisciplinary, which can also involve consultation with non academic stakeholders, it is important to remember that the transdisciplinary processes rely on the collaboration between academic and non academic perspectives in order to provide an holistic knowledge base of the area and issue to be discussed. It is integral to the transdisciplinary process for flexible methodologies to be employed as well as a pluralistic approach to methodology. This results in the transdisciplinary process valuing all knowledge on equal footing rather than valuing academic perspectives above other stakeholders. It is similarly integral to the transdisciplinary process that differences are solved through dialectic thinking rather than majority rule or unequal compromise. Transdisciplinary processes require researchers to be open to alternate ways of thinking in order to rearrange disciplinary knowledge. These requests have a strong foundation in building relationships between the people working on the problem in order to establish trust and understanding. This would aid in breaking down arbitrary barriers between intellectual boundaries and perhaps create new disciplines with which to tackle wicked environmental problems in a collaborative, holistic manner. In summation, multidisciplinary processes convey and contrast knowledge with little to no focus on exploring integration. Interdisciplinary processes focus on integrating knowledge from multiple disciplines with recognition that one can influence the other. Transdisciplinary processes collaborate knowledge of multiple disciplines in order to create a new holistic approach. I look forward to communicating with everyone and hearing your thoughts on this interesting and complicated topic. I hope that you will find my questions inspire thoughtful discussion. My time is up and I thank you for yours. Be well, do good deeds, and keep in touch.